Hi, this is Shadi and welcome back to another Jujutsu School video. And in this video I'm gonna be talking about the Hontai Yoshin Ryū and try to see and speculate some of the most famous historical narratives. But before that, I wanted to talk about something else. I originally wanted to make this video about the Totsuka Yoshin Ryū, and why specifically? It's because the Koryu that rivaled the Kodokan the most, and it was in the police academy. I've talked about this story numerous times and how it might be mythical or half true, and how it might be just folklore in general, but it was one of the few schools that rivaled the Kodokan alongside the Takenauchi Ryu Jujutsu and the Fozen Ryu Jujutsu. So I started looking through multiple sources like koryu.com and many others, and all I can find about the Totsuka was very little, but it did say that this particular lineage, it was the one that inspired the Tenshin Shinyu Ryu Jujutsu, and we can have a pretty clear idea that it's mainly grappling and particularly throwing and standing joint locks, similar to Tenshin Shinyu Ryu Jujutsu. So keep in mind the Yoshin Ryu lineage is the first ever in Japan, or one of the earliest, dating way back to 1632. It was founded by Akiyama Shirobe, and there it propagated into multiple lineage. So you can have a Yoshin Ryu that's particularly striking, you can have a Yoshin Ryu that's particularly weapon oriented, grappling oriented, or a mix of everything. So, and while doing my research, I stumbled upon Hontai Yoshin Ryū, and this is the one you are seeing here in front of you, and it got me thinking. The general narrative of Aikido is that Morihei Ueshiba learned Daitoryu and they say multiple martial arts, and Daitoryu, he refined it, and thus it became Aikido. But looking at this, I can't help but think that this is 90% Aikido. There's also other videos of Hontai or Takagi Yoshin Ryū doing kata with the staff and the sword. One is striking, one is defending, very similar to the stuff I used to do in Aikido, and even the wear. So it got me thinking, could it be another Kano-like endeavor of Morihei Ueshiba? Because if you look at this looks more like Aikido than Daitoryu looks like Aikido, if you are understanding what I'm saying. So looking at this, it is possible that Morihei Ueshiba took this form of grappling and he combined it with his religious philosophy, thus creating Aikido. Similar to how we have Jigoro Kano learning Jujutsu, and he said, hey, this is not just for the thugs or the street gangs. This is actually can be a part of an intellectual person's life. We can be intellectual on 3 levels: the physical, the intellectual, and also the moral. And thus it was called Kano Ryu or Kano Jujutsu, and then it became Judo. The thing is Jujutsu is the gentle art or gentle technique, and Judo is gentle way, as in a way of life. And that's why we call Judo, because the stuff we have concerning education, moral philosophy, intellectual philosophy, it all needs to translate outside the mat, and thus becoming a way of life. I believe that looking through this and trying to read a little bit, that Morihei Ueshiba tried to do the same, but in a more religious philosophy, but with the Hontai Yoshin Ryū, because this is eerily similar to Aikido, and I would encourage you to go and watch the full video. It's like 30 minutes. They also show you the kata And I did a video on Daitoryu Aikido Jujutsu, and it's not like this at all. They bend the shoulders backward and they put the leg in order to lock them, and they step over their opponent and they strike them. It's a much different art than this. This is 95% Aikido, and it got me thinking that could it be like another false narrative that we had learned, like maybe the Totsuka Kodokan thing is not real. Maeda never taught the Gracies. The Gracies never invented leverage and ground grappling. All these very common narrative that we discuss, maybe it can apply to Aikido as well. And it's far from impossible, because if these newer arts have so much hearsay in them, then why not Aikido? Aikido is not an exception. And this is Ikkyo Ura, by the way. It's like 100% an Aikido technique. This looks nothing like Daitoryu Aikido Jujutsu, and keep in mind this is from 1660, this style of Jujutsu, and this lineage inspired the Takeda lineage. However, the Takeda came up with Daitoryu, and as I mentioned, it is far different. So could it be that Morihei Ueshiba pulled a Kano / Gracie on us? It's very possible. I would argue this is Aikido. If I saw this, I would say this they are doing Aikido and not, or like a school of Aikido, minus the the spinning and the drawing the circles. This is far more straight up Aikido. This looks more like Gozo Shiyoda's Aikido. I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. I would appreciate it if you gave an insight on this, because it looks, the evidence, how they say all the roads lead to Rome. You have someone that learned multiple martial arts. He had a very strong philosophy and took an old martial art and applied that philosophy, similar to Kano. And I believe that this is the art, but you can refine it a bit, maybe be a bit more circular when it comes to movements, etc. But this still looks like Hontai Yoshin Ryū, the one you see in front of you. So again, if you have anything else to add, I would love to hear it. Share it down below. If you have any sources of this or something, some sort of writings, also share it with me. I've been looking through the internet all over the place. The comment section is wide open. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening. Please enjoy the rest of this demonstration.
これまではすべて基本の型である。ではこれらを組み合わせた柔術六法のうちいくつかの模範演武を見ることにしよう。最初はゆっくりとその形を見せて、次に普通の速さで演じてみる。一つ目は片襟からの崩しである。次も同じく片襟の腕の払いからの逆攻め。この技をもう一度スローモーションで再現してみる。 次は面付きからの変化技。同じく面当てからの変化技。次も面打ちからの変化技である。最後に出てくる取り付け技は14代石谷武雄が使った豪遊取り付け。今まで見てきたように本体陽神流柔術は実践に即した技として伝承されている。入身転身の柔軟な身のこなし、鋭く対決する一瞬の利合い、逆技から投げに入る瞬間の当て身、または蹴り、手刀は実に鮮やかである。今年もまた日本武道館で行われた古武道演武大会。
本体陽神流でございます。この本体陽神流もいわゆる柔術、そして小太刀反棒などを使いました総合武術ですが、敵を傷つけないで制する、当てて殺してかつて生かすという非常に特徴のある武術でございます。
長い伝統に裏打ちされたいぶし銀の味わいを持つ本体陽神流柔術の技が数千の観客の目に強い印象を与えた。一挙動で、そして無手で敵を制する本体陽神流柔術。昨年はイタリーにも弟子たちを派遣して大好評を得た。この技を正しく受け継ぎ、次に伝えようと日々精進を続ける皆き17代宗家とともに、本体陽神流は今ここに健在である。